Yeah, yo, once again, it's on. It's your man, Coach Five, in the building, doing it up. The only way I know how to do it, if you know what I'm talking about. Welcome to the Candid Corner, baby. Welcome to the Candid Corner. This is the show that talks smack about everything from sports to movies to TV shows to music, and we most definitely rap hip hop right here. Your host, Coach Fa, Mr. Lewis, and MG the Great, bring it real straight to your face, baby. The Candid Corner. Yeah. Back in fact, back in the building. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July if you celebrate. You know what I mean? I hope the fireworks weren't too crazy for y'all. You know what I mean? You know how we do. So, yo, while we here kicking it live, doing what we do, let's just get right on into it. Welcome to Headline 18. All right, so as we ease on into the groove, as you know how I love to do, big shouts to Novak Djokovic and Elena Rybakina for winning Wimbledon, men's singles and women's singles. Congratulations to you both. Uh, so Baker Mayfield finally got traded. Finally got traded. Took less money. I believe he's getting paid 15 instead of 18 million. So the Panthers are getting him on a discount. And they still have Sam Darnold in the building. The number 1 and 3 quarterbacks of that actual draft class are now in Carolina fighting for a starting position. What a mess. What a mess. And again, at the end of the day, keep it a buck. In 2 years, both of these guys could be relegated to backup quarterback status under some new guy. Malik Willis in him, maybe, or this year's draft class, or next year's even. That's just how fickle it is to be drafted in the NFL. And I say fickle because, you can have all the talent in the world. If you get drafted to a place that is not fundamentally set up to for your achievement and for your success, you're screwed. Trevor Lawrence. All of that stuff about his coach and all that last year, now that's gone. If he doesn't step into the fold properly, dude, he gonna be another one we talking about, backing up somebody else in a couple of years. I mean, it's really unfortunate that these organizations spend so much time trying to draft these quarterbacks in the first round and the top round and give them all this money and all these keys, but they don't necessarily set them up for franchise success. It's like you take the most novice person of everybody in the locker room and you tell them, it's your job to turn us around, and it's your job or you'll be gone and we'll find somebody else who'll do it. It's kind of really tough sledding, man. Oh, all right. So the Houston Texans are a funny bunch to me. They just are. So they finally get away from the Deshaun Watson nightmare after paying him $150 million and then firing his head coach and then promising him control or whatever and then not giving it to him, and then he ends up, sex offending and stuff. Then you get a good African American coach who takes the box of scraps that you've given them. Big shouts to Obadiah Stane. He takes the box of scraps and you expect him to be Tony Stark. He's not Tony Stark. But he had them contending and had them fighting, and for all that work, he got the can. And then you bring in Lovie Smith, and I hate to say it, but you bring in Lovie Smith to be your scapegoat. And today you announce, oh, look, we've got red helmets. Yay! Battle red! Red helmets! That's what you're selling, your season ticket holders and the fan base in the future. Red helmets. Wow. Okay. Now, moving on, because as far as ESPN, this just insulting. Din, 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 din. And they were referring to this quote that was actually found on, of all things, Ballsack Sports, which is a parody satire site on Twitter. And of course, they credited Bleacher Report, knowing it's a fictitious story. But somehow, some way, ESPN got a hold of it and made a whole thing. These guys got on, and Perkins got to say something. Perk got to say something. Perk got to, so they went ahead and really went in on John Morant, only to find out, ladies and gentlemen, that Ballsack Sports is a parody account. And they literally jumped out there with bad intel and you had poor Jacoby out there because he broke it with Perk. And so here's Jacoby's tweet. As the face of this, I want to do three things. Apologize in general, apologize to Taylor Rooks and John Morant, and give a big shout to Matty Ice for watching from what looked like a liquor store. And he was retweeting Taylor Rooks' tweet. He absolutely did not say this in the interview, and I can't believe it was broadcast that he did. There should be a correction issued for that. So at least Jacoby owned up and issued that particular apology. But wow. I mean, this is what happens, y'all, when folks see something and immediately run it without fact checking, which is pretty much how they do journalism nowadays. Point in case, there was a NBA Central, but spelled with an E at the end. And they tried to run a story saying that Scottie Pippen agreed with John Morant's assertions and this, that, and the third. I mean, again, when you look for trash, you find trash. I'm pretty sure, Stifler's mom signing at the Jets is going to be like the next breaking news because, they don't fact check. They just run with it and go, oh. So, yeah, wild sad. And before I end this week's headline, he God rest posthumously, we want to say happy birthday to Charlie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, my brother. Charlie Murphy is, wildly funny. Very good dude. I mean, it's sad that he's gone, and I just want, to just let him know that we're thinking about him and let him know, that he's missed. So rest in peace, Charlie Murphy. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Christopher Play Martin from the hit group Kid and Play. 60 years old, hip hop is grown AF right now. And rest in peace to Bruno Poppin' Taco Falcon of Breaking One fame. He was the one going against Shabba-Doo and them in that first battle scene, and it was great. And rest in peace. And it's a blessing that we even had him. So, all right, y'all. I will be right back with more Candid Corner after this quick old commercial break. That was real quick. Yeah, the revolution is now. I know y'all like that. Y'all thought that was swell. I thought it was too. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Most definitely, before we go too far into anything, I most definitely got to bring up the next segment, which is, of course, my main man, my brother, JP the franchise. So y'all know what that means. I know y'all know what that means. That means we about to jump in to... It's time for some Wrestling Town with your main man, JP the franchise. Let's go.
Welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Town with your host JP. Shout out to Coach Fi and the podcast, man. Doing big things. And it's been a while, man. I've just been super busy with myself and everything, and finally got the house sold and trying to get myself back on my feet and everything. So thank y'all so much for, giving me patience and everything. So I miss everybody. So I'm back with this Wrestling Town segment. Man, I'll tell you what, man, there's a lot of things that have been going on since I was gone. MJF going, promalistic, by just cutting this really great promo on Tony Khan and feeling frustrated with AEW in terms of his contract. That might be a little storyline with CM Punk, as CM Punk was walking to the ring, tried to confront MJF, and he left. So it's like a storyline in itself until CM Punk gets injured, at the Dynamite taping. So it's kind of unfortunate, but something's going to be good. Something's going to be good. It's like a storyline building up once CM Punk comes back. I cannot wait for it. Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis in that sexual lawsuit, and them doing an investigation. Oh man, critical times for WWE, critical times for WWE, but they've been through it before with the steroid trials and everything. So it's it's going to be interesting what they're going to do. As Vince stepped down as CEO and Stephanie McMahon became the interim chairwoman of the WWE. So very happy for Triple H coming back and doing some NXT work too as well. So shout out to Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. Now the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Austin Theory won the men's Money in the Bank. A lot of people didn't like it because they didn't think he was ready. He's very talented, could wrestle, and he has a lot of charisma. So there's a lot of future with Austin Theory. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with him. Right now, it's going to be Bobby Lashley in Theory for SummerSlam, as people thought it was going to be John Cena in Theory because of the confrontation that Theory did in front of John Cena when John Cena was celebrating his 20th anniversary in the WWE. So everyone thought it was going to be them, but it's actually going to be Lashley in Theory for SummerSlam. So that's going to be a good match. I cannot wait to see that. On the women's side, Liv Morgan won the women's Money in the Bank, well deserved, because she's getting a hell of a push. Then that night she defeated Ronda Rousey after Ronda Rousey defeated Natalya in the championship match, and she won the WWE women's title. So much respect for Ronda Rousey to drop the title to Liv Morgan. Very much respect. It's going to be a really good storyline to see with Ronda and Liv Morgan. We might see Ronda Rousey as a heel, so I cannot wait to see that. To see that dynamic with her and Liv Morgan is going to be incredible, so I cannot wait for it. And then we might have like a Seth Rollins-Riddle feud going on after Riddle attacks Seth Rollins after Seth Rollins getting the victory over Ezekiel. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good, but it's a critical time for wrestling just because of all these injuries that's going on with like the top stars that could wrestle, like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, just to name a few, Randy Orton. Like it's a critical time, so people got to step up to the plate and everything. So, and on the AEW side, Jon Moxley maintained his AEW championship after a match against Brody, so it was a good match to watch. And then Wardlow getting a hell of a push after getting out of the shadow of MJF after just freaking burying him at Double or Nothing, and being able to get an AEW contract, and now he's all elite. So a really great story. And then going for the TNT title because he wanted to wait for the AEW championship until CM Punk comes back. So very much respect as a babyface, and going after the TNT title against Scorpio Sky, and defeated Scorpio Sky last night and won the TNT title. So shout out to Wardlow. Shout out to Wardlow for with that push, and he's doing great things, in AEW. So I'm excited to see him. But the big thing that I love about AEW is Christian turning heel. The past couple of weeks, this is probably the best promo work of Christian Cage that I ever heard. Like when he was a heel in WWE, he wasn't like this. He was just like a whiny type of tantrum type of heel. And then all of a sudden, like these past couple of weeks, it's like he's getting MJF heat. Like people, I just love it, and people are just booing him out the building. Like the wardrobe that he's wearing, like it's just perfect for like a heel, knowing that he is so confident and just walks in just like a troublemaker. And just the promo work that he's been doing. If you haven't heard his promo work, please check it out, because it's just great promo work. And then got Luchasaurus, so he's a manager to Luchasaurus, who's now a heel, which I like, that dynamic, just to see how much they're going to push Luchasaurus, because they wasn't really doing anything with him. He was like, tag team partners with Jungle Boy. So we're going to see a Christian Cage Jungle Boy match later down the road. So I can't wait to see that. So, but yeah, Christian Cage has been doing unbelievable things, man. But that's it around the wrestling, right now. Nothing big going on just yet, though. But, if anything happens, we'll definitely be back for another edition of Wrestling Town. I'm JP, and we out of here. Shout out to Coach Fire and the podcast, doing big things, like I said, and keep doing up the good work. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Yeah, y'all. And we are back in effect. Yo, big shouts, JP. Really appreciate that. That was a marvelous episode of Wrestling Town. Real serious, real big. You know what I mean? And we are back. And right about now, we are going into Metlandia, y'all. So walk with a brother to the sweet sounds of baseball. Because there's a big series in the National League right now between the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves. And Matt Scherzer was back in effect, doing big Matt Scherzer things, you know what I'm saying? And as the marvelous graphic shows, we took the first game 4-1, y'all. 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 Oh. And right now we're up 1-0, but hopefully that'll be better and not worse. And right now I want to take a quick moment to give props to number 17, Keith Hernandez, who had his number retired this weekend. And as you can see, big ghost face chilling with the owner, definitely celebrating. What I did not know was that Ghostface was a Met fan.
I'm over here at Met Stadium. We're checking out the show. The Mets, they just had Keith Hernandez retired that jersey. It's a special day today. We out here, baby. You see the hat? You see the shirt? We here. We doing it big, baby. 2022. We out here. We outside. Mets.
Big shout, Keith Hernandez. Yo, and that last image of the whole team, the 86 Mets, when I was a kid, I actually had that picture. There's a cardboard picture, and it was signed. And I lost the picture when I moved to California. To this day, one of the most painful things I regret is not having that picture in my life right now. But Keith Hernandez, Mookie Wilson, who was actually my favorite player on that team, Jose Urena, freaking Doc Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, Sid Fernandez, Gary Carter, Ron Darling, Tim Tuffle, Len Dykstra, come on, man. To be a kid in Queens, you know what I'm saying? And as we're reminiscing about what's going on, the goes and the ons, I also have to give props to the Met All-Stars. There was 4 of them, and it was announced today. So, dig it. Can you tell I'm a Met fan? Yeah, y'all. All right. We'll be right back with some more Candid Corner. We're going to jump into some NBA updates right after this. 50% of American families don't get enough of their hardcore hip hop. That's why I'm glad my family likes the taste of Wu-Tang. It's for the children. Hood college versus, yo, these verses is getting crazy. First they got the Ivan Drago and the in Clubber Lang fight, for 1987. That's the verses, and now they got this. Man, I tell you what, these folk crazy. These folk crazy. Y'all ready for some basketball? Yeah, so most breakingest news from my main man Woj in the building, Woj bombs and stuff, boosh boosh. Don't tell nobody I said that or did that actually. Yeah. But either way, so now we all know that Rudy Gobert got traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves about a week or so ago, and at that time, the Utah Jazz, Danny Ainge and all them, no, we're keeping Donovan. We're going to build around him and blah, the barn in the Barney Stone. Well, apparently, a lot of that may have, air quotes, may have changed. Woj reports that the Utah Jazz office is taking calls. They are fielding calls. And apparently the Miami Heat had thrown them an offer last week, and they were not necessarily enticed by the offer, but they are now still fielding calls. And of course, people are going to run and say, oh, the Knicks, oh, the Knicks, oh, the Knicks. Mainly because on Twitter, all of a sudden, you go to, internet stardom the minute you say the Knicks in any capacity, because the fan base is very rabid and we coming. But is it the savviest move in the world for Leon and company? No. Not for the assets they got to give up. I mean, again, here, some of y'all gonna love me, some of y'all gonna hate me for this. Donovan Mitchell is an outstanding basketball player. But he and Gobert and the Utah Jazz have been better than us for I don't know how long, and they can't get to the Western Conference Finals to save their life. What he gonna do in the East with us? I don't think the team with what we will have to trade away is going to be substantial enough to make it worth it. So, good luck to you. Miami, Phoenix, wherever you want to go. Good luck. But in my humble opinion, moving on. Yeah, you know me, guys. You know I keeps it 100. So, in other trade request news, there's been no news on the Kyrie I want out or the Kevin Durant I want out sweepstakes because the price too high, bro. The price too high. It just is. But the sad part is no other major moves for other teams are going to be made pretty much until everyone sees what happens with KD, where it goes, and all of that. I mean, this all could be smokescreen for Utah trading to get KD. You know, and maybe KD and Kyrie, as a consequence, go to Utah. Maybe. Or maybe that's Utah's idea. And they send Donovan and a couple of pieces into money this way to Brooklyn. And there you go. Perhaps. Him, Ben Simmons, and them, you know. Who knows? But, you know, with the Windhorse memes last week, you know, and all that. So you never know. You can't call these things. So we'll keep you updated as it goes. And if anything is breaking, I'll even just break protocol, jump on, and let y'all know what's going on. So, quick free agency updates. It's official. Jalen Brunson is a Knick. Yay! Danilo Gallinari is officially a Celtic. Isaiah Hartenstein is officially a Knick. Rudy Gobert is officially a Timberwolf. Zach LaVine has decided to stay with the Bulls for a 5-year, $215 million max. And the Indiana Pacers have traded with the Boston Celtics to acquire Malcolm Brogdon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your updated, real quick NBA news. It's been a quiet kind of couple of days. Nothing really major on the fronts out there. So, anything, like I said, anything new jumps off, pops off, anything of interest, you know, I'm going to be the first one to jump on it with this wonderful NBA updates and things. You know what I'm saying? Hey, NFL season is coming up. Training camps will be in effect soon. I don't really get what's taking so long on this Deshaun Watson, Sue Robinson judge thing happening over there in the NFL. And last I checked with the Commanders, Dan Snyder was sequestered to a grand jury hearing, and he denied that he was going. Yeah, no, thank you. I'll just skip that. Thank you. Word. Yo, it's wild out here sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. It just is. Well, I thank y'all again for hanging out with me. You know, it's always my honor to have you guys tune in and enjoy what I'm trying to throw down. So I'm glad you guys were here for it. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on YouTube. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what you think of the show. And we will talk to you next week. Yeah, all right? Have a great, great week, guys.
Welcome to the Candid Corner. This is the show that talks smack about everything from sports to movies to TV shows to music, and we most definitely rap hip-hop right here. Your host,